do you like having a pope from Chicago, Cato Hair? Yeah, you love it.
Oh my gosh. Everybody is just completely stunned. I was
Stunned.
watching, I was watching, like the news, and they're just like, uh, it is a meme machine. I've already asked Grok to produce me a picture of Mike Ditka in his Bears
Oh yeah.
uniform, but also as a Pope.
Oh gosh.
And,
I mean, it's like the
and
Pope's a Cubs fan. This is incredible.
it's in
It's
my,
just
it's,
He's
you
incredible.
not
can
a
go,
Cubs
you
fan.
can,
He's a White
Oh,
Sox
is it
fan.
White
White
Sox?
He's a
Sox
White
fan.
Sox
Oh, it's
fan.
White Sox. Okay.
No one said anything about the Bears yet.
No, what's
So,
coming?
The Bears have got to come, and you
Well,
got to get Ditka and
they got to start
Butkus
winning. They got to start
yeah.
so
doing
it is officially the Pope,
stop. Oh my God.
the Pope.
That's
That's fine.
awesome.
Yeah, if you go to my feed on X, you can see the
Pope.
picture. The
So
Pope.
good.
So what I kind of wanted to know, Neal, is when did this boy from Martha's Vineyard become a cowboy?
Well, ever since I was a little kid, growing up on Cape Cod, my dad took us horse because he was from Ireland and he grew up on a horse ranch.
I'm
And
sorry, I said Martha's Vineyard.
no, same thing. Martha's Vineyard, Cape Cod. I grew up there too, as much. But he would take us horse riding every Sunday, and my brothers and I would just complain all the time. And he goes, "One day you'll thank me, boys. You'll thank." Well, I'm thanking him now because I still have my saddle, which was his saddle from Ireland. I still ride all the time. I love horses and I love being part of this culture. And, about 10 years ago, it all started to change. It's from the Warrant to the Warrant 2 to Yellowstone to Tulsa King to,
Mm-hmm.
this and a couple other Western films that we've done. I love the all-American Western culture. I always have. It's what I wanted to do when I first moved to Hollywood. I wanted to be John Wayne. I wanted to be all those guys. And now I have the chance to do it, writing a film with my wife, producing it with my wife, and having that film directed by none other than the amazing, incredible, my favorite director of all time, Jon Avnet. So I'm a very blessed guy to be able to sit here with you, Kate, and talk about The Last Rodeo.
Oh my gosh, you guys go back to Boomtown.
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 Boomtown. By the way,
One of the
Boomtown.
first set visits I did in LA was
That's right, exactly.
was to Boomtown.
Neal came in on the casting, and I've never seen an actor do this. And he's up there for McNorris. He comes in, says hello, and starts doing the scene. And it's just fantastic. So I say, okay, he's great. We got to hire him. They said, no, you got to go to the network. I said, I don't want to go to the network. They can fire me. If they don't want to hire this guy, they're idiots. If they want to use me, they should trust my judgment. Neal says, I'm good.
Let's go.
I'll go in.
I'll show him.
So we go to the network, and he does the same thing. He walks out, and they say, okay, we'll hire him. And I went, of course you'll hire him.
No. I walked out of the audition, and I closed the door, and I put my ear right to the door. I want to hear what they had to say. And who was it?
Jeff Zucker.
Oh, it was Jeff Zucker. Jeff Zucker says, Avnet, you were right. He's awesome. And I was like, yes. The door opens up 2 seconds later. Go to wardrobe. You're shooting Monday morning. Because he stood up for me and took a shot at me. He took a shot at me and justified when I couldn't get a job after I was fired because of that show. Who pulled me out of the ashes? This guy. Who got me up opposite Al Pacino in 88 Minutes? This guy. Who was the only choice I had for this film? This guy. Why? Because he's the greatest.
Well, I can see that Mr. Avnet is wearing a cowboy hat. So have you bought into the whole Wild West of it all in Neal McDonough world?
The answer is yes. And when I grew up in Brooklyn, and occasionally we would rake leaves and we would burn leaves back then, and we would play cowboys. Back then it was cowboys and Indians. I don't know what it is now. And I was always trying to be
Wild West.
Occasionally I was an Indian, you know what I mean? But we, dreamed of and imagined that. And like Neal, we looked at the movie stars. And when Neal brought this project that he had written with Derek Presley, and that he had this deep personal connection to, which he can go into in a second, I thought, oh, Neal is such a great actor. And this is the opportunity for him to be a leading man. Because he had those qualities to me of Gary Cooper, of Wayne, of Jimmy Stewart, take Paul Newman or Redford, I mean, Redford, not so much, more the John Wayne world. And I thought if I could get the audience to feel the way I feel about Neal, this would be like a big rush of energy, and it was late in the film. It was the last day when I shot that opening, where the brim of his cowboy hat tips up and you see his face, and then you see this bull, and then you see his face. No words, I mean, what do you get when you see his face? You go, uh-oh, we're on a ride, you know? And stars, Western stars, traditional stars, they imply so much history, so much character. And Neal did that. It seemed like it was effortless. And it might have been less effort than some of the other things he's done, but that was because he owned this character and he understood the journey of this character.
Well, I finally got to play me.
And he is a sentimental Irish
Kate knows.
lug.
Revé sends her love, by the way.
I send back. Well, I was just wondering, like, I know you've talked more than once about the trouble you got into in casting because you wouldn't kiss a girl. And you finally got to kiss a girl.
It's unbelievable. Kate, it's like, you know, I aspire to be John Wayne from the Cowboys. You know, those types of those performances.
Oh my goodness, that's when I first got a crush on A. Martinez.
A. Martinez was so good in that movie.
Oh my God.
Gosh.
I still have a crush on A. Martinez.
Bruce Dern, everyone. It was just a great film. But that's what I always wanted to be. But since I won't kiss another woman, I had to be the villain, right? So now, after, you know, Revé and I are producing our 10th or 11th project right now in the last 5 years, that finally someone has given me the opportunity to play something that I always wanted to play, and that was really myself. And to have a kind of semi-autobiographical after going through what I went through all those years ago where I was dying. Same kind of thing happens with Joe Wainwright where he's dying, and how does he come out of it? Well, I came out of mine because I had Revé. He comes out of his because he has his daughter and his faith is found again, where he lost his faith completely. These are the things I love playing with, and that I get to tell this story alongside this guy and have it all come to fruition because of his amazing directing. I mean, come on. It's just a dream come true for me.
Well, since you are a sentimental old Irish Catholic and you don't want to kiss anyone but your wife on screen.
That's right.
Why have you never played I know you've never like had a big role as a priest or played the Pope. But why was it left to Jude Law?
Oh,
not Neal McDonough.
That's in the works. That's coming.
And Neal,
is it really?
It's in the works.
Neal had a really great idea, which we bungled the development of the script the first 2 or 3
Not
times.
this time.
But we'll get it.
Not this time. We got it this time. It's going to be great. I can't really go into it, but it's going to be great.
Yeah. How long do we have to wait before we hear any sort of announcement?
It depends how many movies we do in a row.
That's right.
Neal doesn't need much rest, and he's decided that neither do I.
Nope.
So he says, all right, let's do this movie. Then I have to work 2 years. He goes off and does Tulsa Kings and all these other things, you know, gets to hang out with his family. And I'm out there in the editing room,
bay,
running around 7-degree temperature in Tulsa, scouting locations, and then trying to avoid getting a tornado hitting us on the last day of shooting.
That was beautiful.
Yeah,
that was really nice.
Yeah. Well, you know, there has been a thing among film directors, like use an Irish phrase, film directors, that they don't want to do the TV. And that still persists in some corners. I think it's silly because it's certainly not the olden days of 4x5 TV.
Right.
And this whole partnership you guys came up with began in TV. So what do you have to say to film directors who don't want to do TV?
Well, that doesn't really, I don't understand that. It doesn't come into my equation. Making great entertainment is making great entertainment, whether it's on TV or if it's a film. And now you're allowed to do much more, I don't want to say edgier, but much more cinematic types of
people got gigundous TVs.
Look what John did in Justified.
Yeah.
That's like the most cinematic television I've ever seen. You know, he directed a Western on television. That's basically what it was. And now we get to do the same thing on the big screen. So they're hand in hand now. And
But this was something when Neal gave me the script that he and Derek Presley had written, and he said, make it your own. One of the things that was very attractive about it was, first of all, he owned the character. It had an emotional center. And I thought he could be great. He could be this leading man. The other thing was that we were doing it with Angel, and they go out theatrically. And I really wanted to do this film for a big audience, and I wanted a big release. And I've had my share of good fortune, and I'm very, very, very happy about that, of course. But this, to me, it was bring people into the theaters again, have them experience this. You know, it has a positive view of the world, even though his character is flawed, his character is hurting, his character has pushed everybody who's loved him away. And his story is not one where he gets redemption miraculously. He has to work for it. He has to try and earn it. He has to be worthy of his daughter's love. He has to be worthy of Michael T's friendship with him. And that, in the context of this action film, had all the ingredients for a really great cinematic experience in the theaters. So we're thrilled that on May 23rd,
You got to go support.
we have a film in the theaters. And as Neal said, if people can come and pay it forward through Angel, which is a great thing, and tell other people to come if they enjoy the movies, we think that's a great thing because it gives the opportunity for me and many, many other filmmakers, forget me, it's not about me, the opportunity to do that and to entertain audience in a communal setting. What a great experience it is when you see a wonderful movie.
Angel gave us the opportunity to make this film. And not many other companies, I think, would have done that.
No.
Yeah.
So if you love these types of films, you have to send the message to Hollywood. We need more of these films. Well, how do you do that? You have to go to the cinema, buy tickets, bring the whole family. The whole family will love this movie. It's a great night out. Or pay it forward, whatever the case is. But if you need more films like this, it's up to you all who are watching here and listening to support films like this and go to the theater and buy some tickets.
Are you encouraging people to come in Western dress?
Oh, ooh, that would be kind of cool.
What a good idea.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
We would have a midnight screening, and everyone has to
All
be in
hats,
Western
no
garb.
cattle.
No, maybe one. Maybe a little bit.
Everyone.
Just a calf. It's just small.
Well, at premiere, which is going to be next week in Dallas,
Oh, it's going to be
we're
bonkers.
going to have bulls and everything, and
Oh,
Bulls,
my God.
mechanical bulls,
Mechanical
the
bulls.
riders, food, music, everything, and that's
I've been to a
That's well.
PBR competition. It's pretty wild.
it's
oh, it's
bonkers
great.
awesome.
It's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't know anything about it really until Neal comes to me with the script, and then we had to really learn about it to make it be authentic. And I have become a professional student in my older days here. It wasn't when I was younger.
It's because you think you know everything when you're younger.
Yeah,
No,
And
it's
then
so
you
true.
learn better.
So true.
it's there are hardly any more true words spoken. I've certainly been humbled enough in my life, and it is a wonderfully humbling experience. And we had the good fortune of having the PBR and Sean Gleason, who's the CEO there, literally giving me notes, having people talk to me, having people talk to Neal, have people train Neal, for the bull riding sequences. And that was, again, it was a major challenge. And at the same time, it was the high bar we wanted to see if we could surpass.
And two weeks ago, two people have said things about this film that really just kind of stuck with me. Sean Gleason was one. We were at the USA Film Festival in Dallas 2 weeks ago.
Getting a career achievement award from me.
And boy, did he deserve it.
Nice.
2 seats down for me is Sean Gleason. And he comes up to me after, and I'm sweating because I'm like, if he doesn't like it, we're toast. And he comes up to me after and says, Neal, with tears in his eyes, this is now my new favorite film.
Oh.
So to get that stamp of approval, and then yesterday I was on Ted Baer's show, and Ted said, Neal, I've
Oh,
seen
yeah, movie guide. Yeah.
Yeah, movie guide. I've seen thousands of movies. I'm the chair of this. I've done this. I teach at this school, blah, blah, blah. This is without question my favorite film of all time. To have that from Ted Baer and from Sean Gleason, this guy did something right. And we're so blessed because Jon Avnet was our leader, the maestro, and he put it all on the screen for us. An $8.5
Nice
million
action
film that looks like a
sequences.
$50 million film. That's Jon Avnet.
It's not easy to film bull riding.
No.
No, it was.
And I really like some of the flourishes in the bull riding scenes that gave it a real kinetic energy.
Thank you. A lot of that is due to our editor, who happens to be my son-in-law. His name is Thomas Costantino,
Nice,
Beast.
nice.
and he
Beast.
did such a great job. I can never get to hire him because he's always working for Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah.
But he is such a talented filmmaker, and he really took the footage and added an awful lot to it. But the PBR and the knucklehead over here, my little baby brother, who I just have to punch every once in a while just to make sure he's awake.
Well, we all do.
We all,
Yeah.
that's
Now,
our
every
turn.
now and
I'm
then.
used to it. I'm used to it.
Gotta happen.
Neal reminds me, when you talk Chicago, I did a film with Brian Dennehy, and Brian, was of that world as well. But the Butkuses and the Ditkas, they're like beef. You whack them, they go, okay, whack them again. They go,
I went
okay.
to Chicago and all I wanted
Never-
was a pork chop at Ditka's.
Pork chop. Dicka's
a pork chop and Dicka's in
Pope.
Chicago.
So good.
I used to work for Tribune Company, and my name is O'Hare. I am not from Chicago,
Oh,
ironically. No, I'm from northern
Never-
New York State, land of dude ranching.
oh, really?
So, yeah,
Never been to a
not
dude ranch.
entirely unfamiliar with this world. So, before I lose you, Neal, what do you think of having a pope from Chicago, fellow
I think it's
Irish Catholic?
unbelievable. I think it's, you know, it was great to have a non-European pope, but to have a non-European pope now that's actually from the United States, who's spent so much time in other countries, learning cultures, understanding people, understanding that not everyone has all the things and all the stuff in life, and that's not of importance. What is important is love and understanding people and understanding each other. And that's what this new pope stands for. And I'm just so excited that the whole English-speaking world, how exciting it is to have someone who can speak to us in English, but also who speaks Spanish fluently, who speaks
And Italian.
everything. He's just this amazing human being that we are so blessed to have as our new pope. It's just awesome.
And in Chopin's terms, you shot this film not in LA, because that would have been weird, but in America. So how do we feel about the push to get to onshore
Well, there are
production
a lot of things.
somewhere in the U.S.?
I
Because when
had
someone
a-
says Hollywood, they really mean the whole U.S. film
Well,
industry.
we
They
did a
don't
movie about
just
the
mean LA.
we did a movie really about the heartland of America.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I think that the voice of the heartland of America has been lost in Hollywood for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So finally, we built something about the heartland of America. So where should you shoot it? We shot it in Texas and Oklahoma, where you're supposed
Yep.
to shoot the heartland of America films.
Look what Taylor Sheridan's done. He's
he's been
single-handedly.
amazing. He was one of the reasons that
Single-handedly.
I was interested in doing this, because watching Yellowstone and watching the horse work and the bunkmates and the barrel riding, and I thought, wow, I know so little about this and I like it. And I'm hoping, by the way, that this federal tax credit that was proposed, that's a good thing for American filmmaking. And it's a
Fingers
smart
crossed.
idea.
We'll see.
And we used to have it in the 80s, and then it got kicked out. So that would help make, more jobs available to Americans. And I am the head of negotiations for the Directors Guild of America, and have
You
been.
are.
This is the third time doing it. So I really want jobs for my members, but all of our, workers and union members, because, we work and we have our own pension plans. We have our own medical plans.
Mm-hmm.
We pay for ourselves, and we're the best in the world. And we don't want that industry to lag.
So tell me, Neal, how's the shoulder?
How do you know about this?
You heard the story, I guess.
How did you hear about this?
Tell me again.
Well, I'm a knucklehead. During one of the shots, and I don't mind getting busted up. That's just part of who I am. And after all the years of hockey and all the fights and all these teeth that are all fake, as I've joked, this nose has been broken so many times it's finally straight. Also, growing up in Boston, you get tough as a kid. That's what you do. So this one shot in the film, I got busted off the bull, and I landed on my shoulder, and it popped straight out. And hadn't done that in a very, very, very long time. And that was my bad. That was my good shoulder. This is my bad, and it just popped. And I didn't stop the take. We kept rolling, and I go to John. I said, I need to go pee, and he's like, okay. It's weird. And I walk off, and I go to the barn right around the corner. I slam my shoulder back in. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. And I walk back out, and you look at me. I don't even know if you remember it. That was a quick pee. I'm like, yeah. Go back and shoot the scene. And I didn't tell John till 3 or 4 months later the story. He's like, you didn't tell me? I'm like, well, if I told you, you would have shut it down. We had a movie, we had a 23, it was originally 24, 23-day shoot to stuff a $50 million film into an $8.5 million budget. And we did it. I wasn't going to slow that down because I hurt my shoulder.
When I was a lifeguard at Jones Beach, this is a long time back, where everybody was Irish cops and firemen.
Oh, so they're all sunburned.
Right. Yeah, well, they actually were better than you. They had a little pigment by and large. But when people would dislocate their shoulder back then, we were all first responders. We'd put your foot on their arm side, pull them like that, and it would immediately go back in all the time. They'd scream, and then they'd stop screaming, and they'd be fine. You can't do that anymore. That has to be done under anesthesia. So first responders don't do anything, so people stay in pain until they get.
So am I my own first responder?
So if he had told me about this,
he would have popped it back in.
I would have been caught between like what you're supposed to do and what I know how to do.
Well,
and
on
that's
that
the knucklehead wouldn't tell me.
I'm not a dummy.
cheerful note, I'm getting the digital hook. So that's the story to end the day.
Can't
Thank you so
hook
much for
Kate
taking
O'Hare. What are you talking about?
Oh, shush up! I'll send Rebecca an email. Whatever.
That's right.
Tell her you weren't being good. So anyway, I'm kidding. All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. I'll catch y'all later.
Thanks, Kate. Missed you and I love you.
Thank you.
Mwah.
Love ya. Bye bye.